We're live. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Thank you for showing up for the day 3 of the February live stream. This is Chief Pigskin Salute to Black History Month. We're here to recognize, socialize, and energize. I'm Tim Turner, head football coach at the Champaign Central High School. And I got my co-host, Mr. Charles Watkins,
Button up.
DC. Yeah, button up a little bit. Coach Watkins is the DC over at Concordia. Coach, how many of you say you picked up today, man?
Coach, it's been a blessing to have 45 young men decide that they want to come to Concordia, Chicago. It's been a blessing. It's been a great day. And, you know, through everything these kids been through, it's their moment. You know, through COVID, through 2020, I'm glad that they got to share this opportunity with their family.
Yep, they get to show some perseverance, right? And now it's starting to pay off. So anyway, again, guys, we appreciate you joining us. I would like to thank our sponsors. This month's sponsor is the same sponsor for the entire month. It is the QB School. The QB School is the home of the best football analysis on YouTube. 8 million viewers and over 100,000 subscribers watch JT Sullivan's a former 8-year NFL QB with a PhD, break down football. In addition, a new QB school course entitled Master Pass Protection, a QB's Lens, is available February 8th, and it will help take any offensive coordinator and quarterback to the next level. Check them out at theqbschool.com. Also, check out what we've been doing at Chief Pigskin. You can check us out at clinic.chiefpigskin.com and store.chiefpigskin.com. Also, to help us out a little bit, you can always like and subscribe. You know, that's how we kind of keep this thing going, is through our likes and subscriptions. So as you guys chime in, if you are not already a subscriber, please join us, right? Please join us. Tonight's guest is Jason Glasco. Coach Glasco is the defensive coordinator at Presentation College in Aberdeen, South Dakota. How'd you meet Coach?
Man, so great story. I was at Coe College, and we were looking for a defensive coordinator, and he was one of the top 3 candidates that we brought on campus. And ever since then, he handed me his linebacker manual, and he's kind of been like that big mentor, just helped me throughout this coaching ring. So
nice.
Kind of known him for, man, as long as I've been coaching, for 6 years now. Kind of
nice.
Through social media, talking ball, but great guy, really good guy.
Right.
I'm glad I got to meet.
Right. Hey, got a couple of questions already. Got one in for you, Coach. Coach Allball said, what's your record freshman class since being there? The record freshman class. What's the most you've had?
Oh, wow. He put me on the spot here, man. Last year we signed 52 kids. This year, before it's up, we'll probably sign 60 to 70 kids.
Nice. It must be nice to really, again, get a chance to have these kids out there and have any of them been to your campus yet? I know with COVID going on,
yeah, so it's been
kind of crazy.
Of both. You know, we had to get creative with COVID, so I did a lot of virtual visits. We did have some kids on campus, but we're limited to how many could be on for how long. So we had to make this work. You know, I'm thankful that our head coach allowed me to come up with a plan. He liked it, and we executed it. So it's been great. You know, and a lot of those positions are positions of need. So we need O linemen, D linemen. You never have too many of those. We lost a lot of guys due to COVID. Guys opted out. Guys said they were going to graduate early and not play because we didn't have a season. So I think, you know, this was an important class for us to get these numbers so that way we can, it's the lifeblood of the program, right? We got to bring guys.
Right.
And I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate it. Hey, got a couple of guys that just checked in with us. Want to give them a shout out. We got Jamal Matuka from Champaign. Yes, sir. We check in Champaign. We got Coach Gardner. He said he's here from snowy Park City. I'm sorry. He's in Park City.
Tell Coach Gardner needs some of his guys. I still ain't get one of his guys yet.
Yeah, Coach Gardner say it's 6 inches of snow down there. Right. It might not be hard to get some of them guys today. Right. Hey, we also got on here LeConte Nix. Remember, LeConte Nix is my offensive coordinator, my ace. That's my dude right there. Yes, sir. That's my dude. We also got Pops Allball. Pops always joins in. And Pops is in Georgia right now. We got Jeff Rogers. That must be one of your guys. Jeff Rogers says, "What's up?"
Great DC out there. Shout out to Minnesota.
Yep. Yes, sir. We also got Dan Hughes from Sioux Valley, South Dakota. So appreciate you guys. Listen, again, this is all about us all kind of hanging out and fellowshipping together. So please chat in on that chat line. I will try to be real diligent about it and make sure I can include you guys. Again, it's about all of us together, what we can do. Coach, I've got Coach Glasco here. Let's get him in and then we'll get started. Okay, let's get him started and go. I'm gonna hit y'all with a question right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
There he is, Coach.
Coach Glasco. Wait, he's still connected. Coach Glasco, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well. I am Tim Turner. I'm the head football coach at Champaign Central High School. I have the privilege of being the host tonight. We're just going to hang out, man. We're just going to talk a little bit, hang out a little bit, talk a little bit of ball. Seems like you know Coach Watkins. Let's start with, give me a little bit about you. Coach Watkins knows you. I don't know you. Let me know a little bit about you.
So I got a little bit of different background than the guys you had on before. First off, just want to thank you guys for having me on here. But, you have me on here after the big dogs, the two head coaches, and now you just got me, the DC, on here. But a little bit of background on me. I'm from South Dakota, which is crazy. I was born in Omaha, Nebraska, but basically lived my whole life in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Had the opportunity to play for a very good football program, actually, the University of Sioux Falls, in Sioux Falls, which was a NAI football program at the time. Ended up being a 3-year starter there and had the opportunity to be around some very, very successful coaches and football players. And I don't know if we'll hit it later on, but it's basically like the Urban Meyer or Nick Saban of coaching trees at the NAI level. We got coaches all over the place, but had the opportunity to win a national championship my senior year there. So that was good. But then from there, basically, I went on to my coaching career of getting into a volunteer assistant job and student assistant job there at the University of Sioux Falls to begin with. And then really tried to start an actual life and do some real world stuff and found myself in actually working in collections. And if you ever think about working in collections, don't ever do it.
Nobody likes the bill. So wait, Coach. I thought I liked you, and then I'm looking at a bill collector right now, man.
I'm not collecting anything from you. But so then I ended up actually from my volunteer job there, I decided I wanted to go in GA. So I GA'd at another NAI school down the road from where I played in Mitchell, South Dakota, Dakota Wesleyan University, which is actually after my first year as a GA there, I was named the special teams and recruiting coordinator there while coaching linebackers, and then did that for about 8 seasons. Somewhere in there, I was down in Cedar Rapids. One of the two there at Code College. Interviewed down there. That's how me and Coach Watkins met. Keep in touch as much as we can, and then got done there, and now got the defensive coordinator job here. And me and Coach Watkins actually started being DCs the same year, so we were definitely bouncing some things off each other at that time. But it's been really good being at a different place and kind of getting to know the lay around here, and we're trying to change a culture and everything here. So. It's something that's definitely a work in progress, but I'm excited to be here.
Nice. Quick question for you, Coach. I don't know a whole bunch about South Dakota football, but what's the landscape like around there? Who's the big dogs? And maybe it's you.
It's definitely not us right now, but like I said, back when I played at the University of Sioux Falls, where we actually, in my time there, we lost 4 football games, and we played in the national semifinals 3 times, the quarterfinals another time. Like I said, won the national championship. And kind of delving into our whole entire background, our head coach at the time, when I first got there, he's in the NAI Hall of Fame. The guy who took over for him actually in a 12-year span, went from being a NAI head coach at the University of Sioux Falls to being the head coach at Fresno State now, and Kalen DeBoer. So he was at Southern Illinois, he was at Eastern Michigan. And then, like I said, we have coaches from that program that are kind of all over the place. But right now you have South Dakota State. If you're looking at the FCS level, they're a perennial powerhouse making the playoffs. Then you also have North Dakota State, which is about 3 hours away from us up here in Aberdeen. So they're really good. But as far as the lower level, you'll hear Morningside College. They're in Sioux City, Iowa. They've been on a run ever since my alma mater left the conference. They've kind of been running that, won 2 national championships. So around here, those are kind of the schools that you're going to hear about quite a bit. And Cato's close too.
I know you guys are killing the recruiting, so congratulations with that, Coach. Who's the high schools that I should be hitting up? Where's going out there?
You're gonna go in the southeast corner of South Dakota. That's where you're gonna find all the guys over in Sioux Falls. So that's the biggest city, and it's basically got like 60% of the population of South Dakota there.
So funny story. What brought me to Cedar Rapids was playing arena football, and their arena team is like the Patriots of arena football. They won like 5 in a row. And my years of playing there, I lost them every year in the conference championship, go to the championship. So, that's how I feel about Sioux Falls.
For sure. Funny story is he's actually Coach Riggs there was one of our coaches and my coaches in high school at Roosevelt, and then he was a quarterbacks coach at the University of Sioux Falls. That's actually where he played. And so, again, it's just that USF kind of pipeline of coaches. They're kind of all over the place. So,
So, Coach, we talked a little bit about football, but I don't know anything about South Dakota at all. So, tell me what's the most South Dakota thing to do in South Dakota?
Well, first off, you're not hunting pheasants, you're wrong. So I've been wrong my whole entire life. I haven't hunted anything. I have shot a shotgun a few times. Not something I like to do. But that's one thing. Eating chislic, that's pretty much the norm, which is
Stop. You're not just going to say that and then just brush over it. What is chislic?
Chislic is simple. It's just, it can be any sort of meat, really. It can be venison, which is deer meat. It can be just steak, cut up steak, but they fry it, put some garlic salt on it. It's not like this extravagant thing, but for some reason, South Dakota is the place that's known for having chislic everywhere.
So chislic is how they prepare it.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of the preparation.
That's how he got so swole. That's the
right. Look. I thought you was about to say chitlins. And listen, we'd have been all the way. I guess let's throw that question out. You eating chitlins? Who's eating chitlins?
I haven't eaten chitlins for a minute since I've lived with my mom. My mom used to make them for Christmas.
Yeah, that's definitely a mom. That's a New Year's thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. You definitely don't have any friends over when they're cleaning the chitlins.
Say we had to eat them growing up, but when I became an adult, I'm not eating chitlins anymore, and nobody's cleaning chitlins in my house.
No, not at all. I also went through the whole entire stage of growing up, going to school smelling like fried food all the time.
Right, right. Because y'all had fish last night, and you smell like fish the whole day long.
Yeah, my mom fried everything: chicken, cutlets, gizzards, everything.
Oh. Gotcha. So talk a little bit about your family, Coach. You said you've spoken about your mom. You how many siblings? Tell me a little bit about you.
So my upbringing is a little bit different than my brothers. I have 2 older brothers. We're all 5 years apart. So like I said, we were born in Omaha, Nebraska. So in North Omaha, if you don't know anything about that, that's the part that people around here say you don't want to go to. And so they grew up a little bit different than me. I was probably a little bit more sheltered from that type of life growing up in Sioux Falls. So I have a brother who's 45 or 45. He'll be turning 46. Another brother just turned 40. And then I'm 35. Single mom. She took care of all of us. My mom is phenomenal. I mean, she worked 3 jobs trying to support all 3 of us. Been through a lot of stuff and obviously taught me how to do things the right way, and some of that was by doing the wrong things, but at the end of the day, she always had the love for all 3 of us and wanted to show us the path to try to get ourselves in a position where we're all at now. So
shout out to all the moms out there. Man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to all of the moms. I think in this business we run across a lot of moms that are busting their tails doing it themselves, and you know there's not enough to be said about the work that they're putting in. I've raised kids and with the help of someone, right? I can't imagine doing it, alone, right? That's a tough pill to swallow there.
For sure.
And then, so going with your journey, when did you know that you wanted to get into coaching?
Man, I don't know. You see me, I'm all 5'7" on a good day. I wasn't over 105 pounds until my freshman year of high school. So, I was that guy on the field at that time and all the way up in like middle school where I was just telling the guys where to go because I knew where the plays were going. It's like, hey, just go there. The ball's going to go there. You go tackle him. I'm just going to, I'll maybe tackle him, but you guys can go do it,
But you were directing traffic, huh?
Exactly. But I've always been the guy who's probably had more of the mental game, which helped me be successful. So it was always something I thought about doing, but really didn't know I wanted to do it until I was clocking that or putting in the punch card and clocking in, and you don't get that same feeling that you get being a football player. But then you talk about being a coach, and now you're in charge of 100 and plus kids and trying to get them excited. And so just getting that feeling back, being that volunteer back in 2010, because after we won the national championship my senior year, I was a student assistant there, and we went to the national championship game 5 straight years, winning 3 of those 5. And so my last year as a volunteer coach there was kind of the year I knew it. We went to the national championship game down in Rome, Georgia. Unfortunately, lost that game, and then after that, I was like, "Yep, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life." So.
Yeah, it's certainly a calling, and once you find it, it's hard to run away from it, ain't it?
Exactly. And then I had a question for you guys. So, what's the worst question that you get from people after you tell them that you're a football coach or a college football coach at that?
Okay. Well, that's for you, Coach Watkins.
Man, wow, it's so many. No,
just a new person.
I guess when they say, "Hey, I'm a football coach," I guess they ask, "Do you enjoy it?" Right? Like, yeah, I'm doing it, so yes, I enjoy it. But
see,
probably...
I think the question. I'm sorry, Coach. I think the question that most of us always get is, "Y'all any good?" Right? Right. That's the question. Y'all any good?
The question I hate the most is, "What else do you do?"
Oh,
they think that since you're not coaching Division I or anything like that, that you got all these other things that you have to do. It's like, no, that's my full-time job. And
right.
So they don't know
and
about all the things that go in it Monday through Saturday, getting guys ready and mentoring, study tables.
Right. They think you just roll out the ball. You just roll out the ball and let them play, huh?
Exactly. We show up on game day.
Right. All right. So, hey, as we move on a little bit, Coach, I know you say you watched our show a little bit, so we've got a little bit of trivia. We're on the trivia time, baby.
Yeah,
let's
I'm
move
not
along.
a history guy, so
well, we're
got a chance tonight.
We're about to see, my man. So I'm going to start with a little known Black history fact. So, did you guys know that Jerome Evans was the first Black man to become head football coach at any predominantly white high school in the South? Did you guys know that?
I did not know that. What school was it?
So Evans was the head coach of Burlington Williams High School in North Carolina. He also started his coaching career in Farmington, North Carolina, at H.B. Suggs High School, where he coached football, basketball, and baseball.
Wow.
Okay.
Right. I got to give a shout out. That Black history fact is a product of my man, Coach Jamal Matuka, who's on this chat line. He hooked me up with that one today, so I got to give him his props on it. All right, moving on. So here's our trivia question. Coach, we got 3 of them. It's a competition between you and Coach Watkins, and the loser does not get to be on the show tomorrow.
All right.
All right, here's the first question. Here's the first question. Which of the following was not invented by a Black inventor? The curtain rod, the doorknob, or the miter saw?
The miter saw.
Miter saw, okay. What do you say, Coach?
Since I'm trying to win, I'm going to say the doorknob.
The doorknob, okay. So it was the miter saw. Samuel, and I'm gonna chop this name up, but Samuel Schrostrom was the curtain rod, and Osborne Dorsey was the doorknob. All right, so that's 1-0. 1-0 for Coach Watkins. All right. Second question. Which of the following is not a name of a team from the Baseball Negro League?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
So three of them are,
Baseball's
one of them
not me.
isn't. Homestead Grays, the Memphis Red Sox, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, or the Atlanta Blues, which was not.
Red Sox. The Red Sox.
You say the Red Sox was not.
Fast. I'm going to say the Blues.
You're saying the Blues was not. And my man, we have a tie. It was the Blues. So there was no such thing as the Atlanta Blues. There were the Homestead Grays, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, and the Memphis Reds. All right, last question. This is for the tiebreaker. Born in 1827, Hiram Rhodes Reveals was A, the first African-American U.S. Senator, B, the first African-American Army officer, or C, a member of Abraham Lincoln's cabinet. Again, born in 1827.
What's the options again?
Yeah, I was talking.
All right, it's good. He's either the first black U.S. Senator, or he's the first black Army officer, or he's the first black, or he was a member of Abraham Lincoln's cabinet.
Let's say the Army officer.
Army officer?
Abraham Lincoln's cabinet.
I think that's a good call. I don't know. I'm saying, everybody was wrong. He's a U.S. Senator. It says Hiram Rhodes Reveals was a Republican U.S. senator, minister in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and a college administrator. Born free in North Carolina, he became the first African American to serve in the U.S. Congress when he was appointed to the U.S. Senate as a Republican to represent Mississippi in 1870 and 1871.
Wow, that was for sure my last choice.
That was your last choice?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so hey, listen, we have a tie, and there's no way I go with ties. Any discrepancies in any game that I play, whether it's here or for my football program, it ends in rock, paper, scissors. So it's 1-1. Y'all got the best out of 3 on rock, paper, scissors. It is rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
It's best out of 3 or just straight up?
Nah, all right, we'll go straight up. All right, straight up. Let's go.
Who you saying it? Go ahead, Coach.
I'm saying it. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Boom!
Boom, got him.
Damn.
Coach Watkins, hey, look, that's how he's been getting his wins. He got his win yesterday on rock, paper, scissors.
I should have been studying the tape too from that last time.
I like to thank everybody out there. I learned so much from that information that you gave, those trivias. And looking back, I'm like, I was never taught that, right? Yeah. Not in elementary, middle, high school, or college, right? So if it's not being taught, where are we supposed to learn about our ancestors? Right.
Yeah, this is true. Well, I think if that's just a blanket question, I think it has to be from us. I think it has to be from other knowledgeable folks sharing that information. Like I said, that Black History fact about Jerome Evans, I didn't know that. That came from my man, right? And I think when we are staying together and trying to educate one another, I think then we got a chance.
Right. Okay, good point.
And sometimes it just takes getting out of your comfort zone. You know, when you get together, it's easy to talk about sports. It's easy to talk about relationships or friendships, but it's never one of those things that comes to your mind to actually talk to people about, you know, and educate on the history of Black men, women, and everything like that. So it's just about making the time and actually making the effort. Yeah, I agree. So, Coach, before we don't have real long left. We got a few more questions I'm gonna throw at you. We've been softballing you. Now it's a few little harder questions. Right. We'll throw them in there. First one, really, you know. So we've had head coaches on here and had them speak a little bit about what they felt like their
their ability to further social justice within their program. They talked about that a little bit. So I ask you, as an assistant football coach, how do you do that, or are you able to?
Yeah, and so our head coach does a really good job of being collaborative with a lot of things, and so I am the only African American on the staff here, so I do get deferred to a lot of those questions to me. And really the thing, I'm also on the diversity committee here as well. And so the biggest thing for me is when you talk about just the sport of football, it's one of those things where for us being coaches, especially at the college level, you just have a melting pot of people from all over the place. And kind of a barometer, or maybe kind of a way that we can gauge how we should be acting as a country, because as football coaches, we got to get 100+ kids from different backgrounds. Just talking about my roster, I got to get the same kid from Anchorage, Alaska, to be on board with another guy who's from downtown Los Angeles or whatever it may be. And at the end of the day, it's trying to understand where we have things in common, how we can educate each other, how we can learn from each other, but we all want that end goal of equality or being able to be on the same page and work together for the common good. At the end of the day, everybody knows right from wrong. Everybody knows, the decisions they should make. But it's about being confident in those decisions. And the only way you can be confident with sharing and in a football sense, or in a sense with other people, where you're not going to get upset because of their ideals or how they carry themselves, when you get to know them and you have those conversations. And some of those things are uncomfortable, and we've talked about that as a campus and community around here, is those uncomfortable conversations are going to allow for us to grow as individuals and actually be able to take the next step. And it's about being consistent with having those conversations. You can't have it only jump off when something happens,
Yep.
And it seems like at times that's how it kind of works out. If something happens, now it's big, and then it fades away. Right. Something happens again, now everybody gets upset and angry, then it goes away. It's about being consistent and not trying to lose the fact that is important to you. And that's really what we've been talking about here, is being consistent with our message and how we're going to go about the social justice and everything like that. And that's a huge thing for me. At the end of the day, it's the same thing as being a coach. You can't portray a message or get people to believe in something if you're not consistent with what you're saying.
I agree.
You're trying to get that message through to your kids or through to other people in the community or the society. So,
gotcha. I agree. Hey, I know Coach Watkins has a follow-up question or two for you, but before we do that, I just want to, again, we're not far from signing off here. I want to shout out our sponsors again, just because, QB School have been great to us, and I want to make sure to shout them out as much as possible. The QB School, home of the best football analysis on YouTube. 8 million viewers and over 100,000 subscribers have watched as JT Sullivan, a former 8-year NFL QB with a PhD, break down football. In addition, a new QB School course entitled Master Pass Protection, A QB's Lens, is available February 8th, and it will help take any offensive coach and QB to the next level. Check them out at theqbschool.com.
Gotcha. So I want to commend you, Coach. I know it's tough being the only African-American coach on staff. I'm in that same boat. So I want to say thank you for that, just for bringing your ideas. I wanted to kind of change gear a little bit. Talk about your defense, right? Last time we talked, or last time when you interviewed, when you were being a DC, are you still running that same defense, or can you morph to something different?
Oh, we are kind of that, but a little bit more. We're a 3-4, kind of a flex, kind of the old school flex, where we're going to end up in a 4-man front a lot of games up front. We're not able to get those big D linemen that are going to stay in a gap and do those types of things. So we're moving all over up front with some stick game, twist game, those types of things. We're very multiple on the back end. The thing for me is really, I tell guys all the time, we're looking for the best 11 guys. And that best 11 guys on 1st and 10 might be different than the best 11 guys on 3rd and 12. So we can get into a 3-3-5, we can get into a 4-3, and it doesn't really change any of our coverage stuff or what we're going to do. And so we will move in and out of different things to allow for us to have some success in certain situations, for sure.
So when you move into different things, how are you I guess, how are you teaching it to the guys? Is it like if they go from 3-4 to 3-5, is it an easy transition or?
Yeah, it is. I mean, at the end of the day, we're running our 5-man pressures. We're going to run our 4-man pressures. Those aren't going to change. I mean, we're going to our 3-3-5. Typically, if we're going to drop a guy into the box, who's going to be basically our other inside backer. And so it doesn't really change anything, maybe just a couple of rules, but it just allows for us to be flexible up front. We have our 4-man front where we can run the same exact pressures with our defensive line that we do with our inside backers and linemen. They're just called something different because they're 2D linemen, but it's simple. So we can really morph in and out of things based on who we have personnel-wise, year in and year out. I mean, my first year, we actually had to move to a 4-man front for the last 2 weeks of the year.
Gotcha. Now, how do you find the time to work on all that?
So it's not really different for our guys. And like I said, we do a lot of different things up front, but our rules are simple. For us, for other teams, it looks like there's a lot of different things, different moving parts. For us in our twist game, guys need to know, hey, am I the first guy or the second guy? This is my read if I'm the first guy. This is my read if I'm the second guy. And this is how I react. And so we keep it simple. Guys just need to know with all of our movement game stuff, whether they're the first guy or the second guy. And then they kind of know that. But our 5-man pressures, so our fronts, our stunts, our blitzes are all independent of each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if the linemen know the stunts, they can run anything.
Gotcha. Before we check out, I want to just look in on this chat line, see how things are going on over there. Looks like we've got about 20 guys over there. Really appreciate you guys. Look like they've got some pretty good conversation going on. I'm not going to really try to get into it very much, but I do want to check and see if there are any questions for Coach Glasco. Let's just see here real quick.
Also, I want to thank your university, your college, for what you guys are doing. Could you explain a little more, Coach? I know we got some coaches on here talking about that minority position you guys are looking for.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we do have an open offensive position. It's kind of a stipend position for us where it's really your best fit offensively, probably in those skill position ranges. And it does include housing, those types of things. And so it is a great opportunity for someone trying to get their foot in the door coaching wise. And it is a move to South Dakota, of course. The cold weather and wind, and the high for Saturday is supposed to be 9. So the only good thing about that is for us, we actually put a dome over our practice field in the winter. So all of our stuff is in 55 degrees and no wind or snow. So.
Gotcha. Hey, got a couple of questions on this chat line, Coach. A couple of coaches now, they want to know a little bit more about your defense. First question comes in from Coach Allball. He's asking, how often are you blitzing?
Well, can I say 99.959%? We're blitzing at least one person. We will go full shell coverage sometimes, but we'll blitz at least one linebacker every single play. So we essentially end up in a 4-man front every single snap.
Gotcha. And do you have any blitz calls that just come from one side, or are you mixing them up?
So we're actually independent. A lot of our stuff is dependent on where the back is set. Side linebacker set it. If we tag it, they'll go opposite of what the normal call is. And so basically we're trying to eliminate the guessing game as coaches with run game stuff. We're going to be able to have calls that are going to be geared towards the back side of the flow versus the front side of the flow, and then vice versa. So our guys actually make the calls on the field.
Gotcha. Okay. And then Coach Matuka asked, who's your dude in your 3-4? Who's the guy, everybody, when you're putting that defense together, you start with that dude. What position is that for you guys in your 3-4?
Man, it's got to be an inside linebacker, because when you're talking about that 3-4, the old school 3-4 flex, your inside backer is going to be walked up into the line a lot. He's got to be a guy that can basically be an oversized inside backer that can be a D lineman at times. He's running a lot of twist game, stunt game. Also has to be in the coverage. But if you're talking about a guy who needs to be your best athlete on the field, it's our bandit position or our strong side outside linebacker. He's that overgrown safety nickel type. He's going to be able to bring pressure and do those types of things. And that's something we've been able to do really well, is get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And the thing that I learned actually this summer from a clinic was was you try to confuse the guys that are the dumbest ones on the field, which is the offensive linemen. So we do a lot of different things up front. They were like, don't try to confuse the guy who's in the film room all the time, knows everything that's going on. Confuse those guys who don't watch any film. So a lot of games up front.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Coach, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing, this football with us. Couple of the coaches have asked if you wouldn't mind sharing your contact info. They wouldn't mind touching base with you if that's something you wouldn't mind doing.
For sure. In the chat, then probably.
We're live. If you don't mind just saying it live, just say it. Coach Allball has put in your Twitter address into the chat line. But if you can just a quick shout out of how folks can get in touch with you.
So I actually just put in my email address in the chat, and then you can get a hold of me on Twitter. I'm on there all the time. You guys know it's 2021 and you got to recruit. That's the way to do it. And so I'm on there all the time. If you want to, shoot me an email and I'll get you my cell phone number as well, and we can get a hold of each other there. More than willing to talk ball or talk kids or anything like that with recruiting. We haven't had the luck that you guys have had. We had to play a season, so you guys got that head up. Recruiting, so we found that be a little bit tough. So whenever you guys want to talk about, we can definitely chop it up and get going there. But I don't know, it's just the email address, and then
what's your Twitter handle?
Did he put it on there? Oh,
he put it on the chat.
So 5. So Glasco.
Gotcha.
On that stuff. I'll type it in there too.
Gotcha. And then on our chat, Coach put in, it's jason.glasco@presentation.edu for those of you who still would like it. Coach, we appreciate you, man. You made it seem like when you came in here like you wasn't one of the big dogs. And I got to tell you, right, you a big dog. So for day 3 to have you on here, it's been a pleasure, my man. I appreciate you. Do this for me. Tomorrow, come back and watch us. Then next week, come back and watch us. Tell some of your friends, have them subscribe and like and do all of those things. We're on a mission. Coach Watkins and I are on a mission. So Nate, when he's doing these shows, he's had about 50 guys on at once. We are trying to break that record. Okay, so I need your help.
I was telling people on Facebook. I was telling people on Twitter. I'm disappointed in my people right now.
All right. Well, here's what you'll do then. We've got the rest of the month to go, so you get your people up and then come back and see us there.
All right, we can do that.
Again,
thanks for having
Coach,
me, guys.
It was a pleasure, my man. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. You have a good one. I'll definitely be in contact. I didn't know you were doing all that flex stuff. I'm definitely going to hit you up, man.
All right.
Take care, Coach. Thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Coach, another great show. You keep getting these heavy hitters, my man. For those of you that don't know, that are watching on the chat line, the guests have been secured by Coach Watkins, the 3 guests that we've had. And I'm telling you what, they have all 3 been outstanding. So, my man, kudos to you.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you. Thank Chief Pigskin for putting this on for us. I'm so honored. I can't believe tomorrow's our last day for the week. It went so fast.
It has gone by fast. And to you guys that have been rocking with us on the chat line, again, guys, it's nice to see there's some good conversation going on over there. You guys are engaging with one another, engaging with us. And again, that's what this is all about. It's about a half hour for us to hang out, talk some ball, get to know each other a little bit, get to see folks that, I see on our chat line that a lot of guys that, there are a few guys on there that know one another that maybe haven't seen each other. So it's real nice to do that. We appreciate you guys, and God willing, we'll be back tomorrow.